OK, what is that? Asked Amy, shouting over the shrill bleeping noise that screamed out of the console. It's a signal, the doctor replied, never once taking his eyes away from the screen before him. A beacon, an alarm, no. It's stranger than that. All at once, the TARDIS shook violently, nearly knocking them both off their feet. And what was that? Said Amy, bracing herself and struggling to keep balance. Well, I'm not sure what that was, said the doctor. I think we may have hit some sort of gravitational speed bump. A gravitational speed bump? They have speed bumps in space. How fast were we going? In the centre of the console, the glowing crystalline columns groaned and wheezed, as if wrestling some unimaginable force. The lights began to dim, the interior of the ship descending into gloom. Well, not a speed bump, as such, said the doctor, completely unfazed by the dimming of the lights and the monstrous cacophony being made by the TARDIS. More an abnormality. Smaller than a black hole, much smaller than a black hole, but this is where the signal's coming from. There was a sudden terrific clanging sound, like that of a monstrous hammer slamming down onto an impossibly large anvil, and the TARDIS stopped moving. OK, I think we've landed. With a knowing grin, the doctor looked up at Amy for the first time in an age. Though the engines of the TARDIS had stopped wheezing and the outside world was quiet, the inside was still filled with that high-pitched bleeping. So, is it like a distress signal? Said Amy. The doctor nodded. That's exactly what it's like, he told her. The strange thing is, it's a trans-temporal distress signal. English, please? It's a distress signal that crosses time, very sophisticated in its own way. A spaceship leaves planet A and travels to planet B, 6 light months away. When it gets to planet B, something malfunctions. Basically, the distress signal travels back in time and reaches planet A shortly after the spaceship has left, so a rescue party can be organised right away. But if the signal travels back in time, can't they just send the message to themselves to stop them going to planet B in the first place? Oh, Amy Pond. So much to learn. Paradoxes, space-time, closed time-like loops. OK, so where are we? The doctor beckoned Amy over to his side of the console and pointed at one of the monitors. Peering at the screen, Amy saw the image of a solar system with 12 planets spreading out from its central star. On the outer edges of the system was a flashing green dot. The doctor drew a circle around the screen with his fingertip. This is the Batani 045 system. That planet there is Jahi Minor. That planet there, well, I can't even pronounce the name of that planet. That there is the comet Shulla Khan, and that... He pointed at the flashing dot. That's us. Thing is, we've landed on something big and solid, and there's nothing big or solid this far out. He looked across the console room at the door. You want to go out there, said Amy. It was a statement, not a question. The doctor returned his attention to her and smiled. It was a strange, inscrutable smile that took a second or two to reach his eyes. Well, he said, as he left the console and made his way towards the door with his back to her, there is a distress signal. I'd be breaching all kinds of intergalactic conduct if I didn't at least try and find out where it came from. Plus, big mysterious object which shouldn't be here. Well, it'd be lazy not to investigate further, wouldn't it? I mean, wouldn't it? He had opened the door before Amy could reply, and behind his back she rolled her eyes. She had grown accustomed to the doctor's ways. If there was a mystery on the other side of that door, he was bound to open it. The doctor turned around and gestured towards the outside world with both arms, like a magician unveiling his latest trick. Come along, he said, beaming. Onwards and upwards! Amy ran across the console room, and together they made their first tentative steps outside. The sight that greeted them took Amy's breath away, and the only thing she could do was laugh, more out of disbelief than anything else. She wasn't quite sure what she had expected. A rocky landscape, perhaps, dotted with craters and mountainous ridges, or a desert. Something a little bit more like the moon. This was nothing like that.